Welcome. As a bit of a change, instead of this video being about me today, I want it to be about you. Yep, you guessed it. We've got Taxus Baccata, the English yew. I picked this tree up in late winter, early spring from a local tree nursery. It was very cheap actually. I think I picked them up for £5 each, which I think is great value. As I say, it's the common yew, and I did a bit of basic pruning, applied some wire, but first of all I need to get the wire off and cut off this guy wire. I'm struggling to recall exactly why I've got this crazy weird wire set up. Oh, that was it, yeah. I attached this wire to bend the trunk down further, and it kept pulling this wire up, so I then attached this wire to the root. It's a bit of a mess, but it did the job. Let's cut this off anyway and see what happens. Will this spring up at all, or is it held? Seems to have held quite well actually. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. So what I'm going to do now is remove this wire. That wire came off quite nicely. It's bitten in a bit at the top, if I'm honest, a bit deeper than I would have liked, but the main trunk's fine, and it's taken the shape really well. I think it's got a bit of potential. And what I need to do now is I want to chop the top off, and I want to prune some of these branches. I've got a nice branch here, and this appears to be a very natural new leader, so I'm just going to cut above that. And that should add some quite nice taper. Multiple cuts to get me from the thick to the thin. This is the thickest of the branches. It's got some lovely growth on it. It comes out and it splits into two, which is just what I want. So I'm going to just trim this back so that it doesn't get too thick, and just remove some of the length, and I'm cutting back to the new buds. So this is what the fresh buds look like on a yew, and I'll just cut back to the inside one. Well, I'm happy with that. I think that's turned out nicely. It's just compacted it down, and I'll just leave this now for the rest of the year to grow on and see where I am with this next year. Time for the next one. I bought this yew at the same time as that previous one, but it's far more vigorous and healthy, and it's got a more interesting sort of structure at the base. Maybe a bit weird. Come and have a closer look. That's quite interesting, I think. I'm not sure. It's got sort of two root bits, it's got multiple trunks, branches everywhere. I've applied wire. Before I can decide what I'm going to do with it, let's just get this wire off, and then I can sort of see where we are. I do enjoy a game of chess, and taking the wire off that felt like I was playing Gary Kasparov. It was a bit complicated, but it's off now and I can see this lovely base. Some people might think that's ugly. I think it's interesting and characterful. I like this. This is a part of the tree I enjoy. As to what I do with the rest of the tree, I've got some decisions to make. Ideally, I'd like to cut this back, this branch, to keep it thinner. However, I'm leaving it to thicken because I want that growth from this to go down into here. Because at the moment, the thickest part of the tree is up at this section. It's too bulky up here. And so I'm toying with the idea of removing this whole trunk here and allowing the trunk to come across, because then at least there's taper and these become the thickest parts, which is the way it should be for me. At the moment it just looks a bit awkward up here. So yeah, I've made my mind up, this is going. Bonsai is not about playing it safe for me, so I'm okay with taking something like this on. I think in time I'll get one of those like nice little Japanese pull saws. But for the time being, this will have to do. I'm getting there though. Here we go. I could have turned that into some kind of gin feature, but deadwood feature, but I'm still not really there in terms of sort of deadwood carving or anything like that. So I'm quite happy to just leave that as a nice simple cut. Put some cut paste on and hopefully just let that callus over. I think I could do with getting some of that thicker sort of putty for wounds like this, but I've not got any, so this will do for the time being. I've had good success with trees healing over using this green Japanese stuff, so there we go. I'm really pleased with how that turned out today. Sometimes in bonsai you've got to be bold, you've got to make decisions and make cuts. It might not always be the right thing to do, but at least I'm always learning. If you've enjoyed today's video and you'd like to see how these trees progress in the future, hit subscribe. And as always, thanks for joining me and have a great day.